How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to TheBlueShifting and welcome back to Sunrider Chapter 4. So, last time we were here, we kind of got the introduction that Kriska might actually be Paladin. I thought for sure she was going to be a prototype stand-in, like the prototypes were infiltrating the Alliance, that Kriska wasn't actually there because of and the mystery around it. We just assumed so, but we were going to find her somewhere else. But based on the actual conversation we had, it almost feels like it is Kriska. And if so, she's kind of turned pretty dark. She's willing to start harming normal citizens to bring about what she believes is the right thing to do, and that's kind of scary because that's not really who she was. It also implied that we're gonna make a choice. We have to it's basically seeming like we're either gonna get favor with the Alliance if we execute her as basically a war criminal, or we can recruit her to our team, but the Alliance won't be very happy with us and wouldn't offer us any support. I kind of got an idea of what I want to do personally, but we're gonna see what remains to be seen based on the decisions that we make and what I guess Kriska's bringing to the table. Like, who is she really? What is she up to? And I need more context before I could make that choice. But we got all the implications that we will have to make a choice based on the conversations we had last part. So could be pretty intense. But yeah, also while you're here, before we get started, just a heads up, I am gonna be taking a break. I'm gonna be on vacation for a couple weeks, so you're not going to see stuff from the channel for a while. I mean, case in point, I'm not going to carry my computer around on a trip, but this is a trip I need. I'm going to go see family I haven't seen in probably over 10 years. I just really want to do that, and it's been a long time coming. It's one of the perks I've picked up from having a proper job and can actually save some money. So we're going to go take a trip and we're going to go see some people. So it sucks because YouTube's algorithm is going to hate me for it. You're probably going to be, if you enjoy these uploads, you're going to miss them. But I don't think anyone in their right mind would be upset at that. It'll be an annoyance, of course, but I would not sacrifice it for anything. I'm very excited. I might make a few posts while I'm out, just of the cool things we're going to be doing, because we're definitely going to do a lot of travel, and not just travel, but it could be we're going to see some national parks. And so I might send some pictures onto the channel just for fun, but I'm going to be gone for a bit, and that's okay. I'm looking forward to sharing it with you, but in the end, I hope you have a good rest of the month. But, for the minute, let's enjoy this episode. Just want to get it out there, clear the air before we go. So without further ado, let's get started. All right, so it looks like there's no side quests, so we're going to go into Anur right away, and we're going to see what happens. But very likely we're going to go into a confrontation. It's going to be a tougher fight than the last one. And we're going to have to just grit our teeth and bear it and kind of make it work. Hopefully we could get through okay. We did the last fight pretty well. And so I'm feeling fairly confident, but this game's tough. It's challenging, which I kind of like, but it makes the recordings longer. All right, let's go. Anur, Class 0 uninhabited world. The predominant life form on Anur is a fungus, the spores of which are toxic to humans. Due to the lack of any strategic resources, no effort has been made to terraform Anur into a world palatable for human life. That's interesting, because the last two worlds were barren worlds. They're basically just big rocks. This one technically has life, could be terraformed. It's an interesting choice. I wonder if it's just simply they're picking planets that can do the Ongasite, or are they going to try and do something different here? Are they going to use the device to make different? Because they talked about how you need a ton of material to work with in order to use the paradox core in order to create to pull elements from different dimensions into this one. But I wonder, because they talked about how the makeup of the planet mattered. So maybe there's stuff on this planet, maybe the fungus, that they are either A, targeting directly because it will bring about a change or material that they want to bring through, or maybe the fungus is going to be mutated, or they're going to pull out a super fungus from another dimension and it's going to become an enemy. That could be really scary too. So I had just thought of that as I said that. So maybe it'll be we'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens. Regardless, let's get started. The Paladin has challenged us to a showdown at the Denari world of Anur. Hope you're ready for this, Captain. This is most all but certain to be a trap.
間もなくアイナーに到着します。当然罠からの脱出策はもうできていますよね。
Of course, but we're Kato Shields. We don't do anything but blunder into traps head first. So, are you surprised, Ava? Diplomacy.
我々の実績を見ると、それはあまり。
She's like, oh gosh, we're screwed. And preparation. Lynn, have you figured out the range of the TPC?
有効範囲直径約5000キロ。規模おおよそ12テラトン。最終衝撃波は半径1万キロ範囲の物質を全て粒子化させるであろう。出した報告書にも書いてあるはず。
Thank you, Lynn. The Paladin probably thinks the TPC is her trump card, but we can use that against her. We warp out to 15,000 kilos from out from Anyer, still outside the TPC's range, and if they decide to fire it at the planet and also wipe out the gravity well that way, we can perform a short-range jump to dodge the blast. We do the same. We do the same if they fire the TPC at us instead. Can you imagine they actually fire that at us? That'd be insane. I had Lynn map out a new gravitational map in advance based on the simulation of the detonation of the third TPC at the Anyer. The Denari guard will warp in using that data to hit them by surprise.
いい作戦です、艦長。私も報告書に同じ作戦を提案したのですが。
Are you implying that we are thinking tactically enough that we came up with it ourselves, or are you calling us out for having read your report and just saying that's what we're doing? I read the paperwork. Yeah. Aw, she's like, I approve.
まもなく目標座標に到着。ワープ脱出まで5。ワープ終了。高軌道周回中。高度15万キロを維持。エネルギー反応あり。惑星の反対側高度3万から。
Alright. Hail them.
アイヌアへようこそ、
God,
シ
so
ールズ
loud.
艦長。これから連邦のエネルギー危機の解決策を実演するとしよう。不毛な惑星を温月サイトへ再構築。
I already know what you intend to do, Captain Paladin. The Alliance government wants you out. They've labeled you a political extremist, rogue agent, seeking to overthrow democracy to impose martial rule. But I know who you really are. The people you trusted, the people you believed in the most, they used you. The country you swore to protect didn't give you justice. You saw the god-awful truth and it shook you so bad you wanted to leave your own skin. Trust me, I know how it feels to be treated like a fool. To be betrayed by the very thing you believed in the most. We can work together. There's a new enemy in the galaxy, one greater than even Venisar Fontana. I need your help to stop him. I need your help. Come back to me. It'll be just like old times.
もう遅いんだ、艦長殿。自分が誰なのか、何を望んでいるのか、よくソラリスの民を目覚めさせなければ。自分を裏切ったのは連邦ではなく、議会の腐敗した政治家どもだ。あの臆病者どもは、己のためにパクトに降伏し、中立辺境の自由を、安全を、民主主義を簡単に投げ捨てた。
God, it feels so real.
それは決して許せる行為ではない。我らはそれを正す義務がある。ソラリス連邦の栄光のために、我らに自由を与えた偉大なる連邦のために、我らは必ずやり遂げる。艦長殿、たとえそれが貴殿を敵に回そうとも。
Come on.
パラドックスコア、発射。
Engage war.
警告。大規模な重力異常検出。
Lynn, what's happening?
確認中。
Oh,
今の爆
fetch.
発は20テラトン以上あったぞ。
It's a bigger one? Why?
予想よりずっと上だ。
重力波接近。
Brace for impact. Damage report.
2ミリ秒ワープに成功。以前の座標から8万キロ移動しました。最悪な事態を回避できましたが、ワープドライブは現在使用不可。
And with a bigger detonation than we anticipated, our backup is not going to be coming here.
緊急報告。ホークの戦艦が複数船軌道から脱出。こちらへ向かっています。
Praetor?
重力異常のせいであんたたちから 0.7 ミリ光秒のところにワープしちまったよ。今からそっちに行くけど、しばらくは発生できねえぜ。
Is this going to be a survive type of situation?
ご覧あれ。我々は不可能を可能にした。無価値な石からこの宇宙で一番貴重な資源に変える。決断の時は今。このシエルズ殿、共に戦おう。力を合わせれば必ずパクトを退けて中立辺境を解放できよう。最初の計画通り、ソラリス連邦はセラに平和と独立を届けようではないか。
Kriska, your goals are valiant. Oh, she's still talking.
臆病な政治家どもの悪事を明るみに出して正義の裁きを下そう。
Okay. Kriska, your goals are valiant, but you're becoming the very evil you're swearing to destroy.
約束したのではないか。一緒にセラを解放すると。 それは決して不可能ではない。二人の力を合わせれば。
Liberation Day already happened, and it was absolutely ripped from us. Kriska.
行こう、艦長殿。一緒になら。
そこまでだ。ワープを直したぞ。私も混ぜてもらおう。
待ってください。
Oh,
プレイ大佐、一旦攻撃態勢を解除していただけますか。
okay. That's a twist I didn't expect.
マルキオ・ハンナ。
あなたはあまりにも無謀です。まだまだ交渉の余地はいくらでもあるというのに。私はここへ来る前に工業連合と話し合いました。
Oh,
そして
okay.
めでたく合意に達したのです。
Interesting.
最初は何かの冗談かと思っていましたが、まさか本当にディナリで音月サイトが発見されたとは。それがどういう意味かお分かりでしょうか。100年余りの間、死の星々からわずかな鉄くずを集めて、貧困と絶望の中で生き残ってきた私たちにやっと希望が見えてきたのです。
I was saying
音
like
月サイトがあれば。
I was saying like if we assume there aren't any other major catastrophic side effects of using paradox cores like this, which I'm not entirely convinced there aren't, if the gravitational fluctuations are causing problems but can be like, you know, adapted, and you coordinated with everyone living in the area, it wouldn't be too big of a deal. You basically are setting up like a no-fly zone for like a stretch of time, detonate a paradox core, get the new resources, remap, distribute the maps, and then everyone's good. You know, just make sure to just try and prevent people from being in flight at the time. You know, tell everyone like, hey, this is a no-fly time, it's dangerous, be careful. That could do enough to make it justifiable. But again, that's assuming that there's not some really terrible things that come from using paradox cores like this, which I can't imagine is healthy for the universe. But I could see what his point is. This is a future that could potentially give them a place in society, the influence and the political sway to be able to kind of better their lot in life. I get that. That makes sense.
いずれここは巨大な貿易中心地に変身するでしょう。そうなればディナリの民は仕事も技術も富も全て手に入れるのです。連合だけでなく全銀河の投資家がディナリに注目し始めていて、いくつもの開発プロジェクトが立案されているのです。
あんたは騙されてんだよ。ソラリスの連中はここを自分のものにしたいだけだ。最初からそうだっただろう。祖先が残してくれた土地も伝統も何もかも踏みにじられてたんじゃねえか。
She's absolutely right. They need to lay down some very strict laws and regulations about like the transfer. Like for instance, maybe I would say the mining union shouldn't have like ownership rights to these planets necessarily. Maybe they are just given like treaties of like right to mine. So like they have to pay like a fee or something. They don't own the territory. They can't just do whatever they want to it. And so a portion of the profits always go right back to the local government and leaders and like people basically. That would be, I think, a better way to do it, because just letting the mining union basically own these planets outright and then turning it into this stuff like. The other problem too is like the idea is that you could then claim ownership of a dead world, and if you, as long as you have access to a paradox core, you can then make it like flip it into something like incredibly valuable, and that could be very destabilizing in and of itself, especially if people are allowed to run amok. I feel like he has a good intentions and good ideas, but I feel like he's not skilled enough to recognize that he's giving away too much of his power to the mining union just because they said that they'd invest in the area. I guarantee you any business that's going to be trying to mine ongasite is going to be investing plenty on their own. There's no promises that they could make that wouldn't be something they wouldn't be willing to do anyway. So you shouldn't be getting those types of promises. You should be getting promises of like taxes or tariffs that you get to control. I don't like the word tariff in this regard, but it kind of makes sense because the idea is that well, the tariff wouldn't work because it's all within the same country, but there's like, it's like you almost think of the Denari as a state in a prefecture or a what's the other word for it? You know what I mean? Like a subsection of a country. They should have some say and control over the trade in their borders. The mining union probably wouldn't want that, so their contract would just let them trade as much as they want freely. but it's in your territory, exploiting resources that you have, that you should have at least some say in that.
栄誉だけでは子供たちを養えませんよ、プレイタ殿。
目を覚ませよ、ハンナ。奴らが使ったパラドックスコアで民がどれほどの被害を受けたか見えてるんだろ。音月サイトの精錬よりもよっぽどやばい毒を放出してんじゃねえか。ワープもダメになったじゃねえか。富どころか苦しみしか生み出せねえぞ、あんなの。
I think the best thing to do would be like make this the last detonation of a proton core. I think that Paladin and her people need to retreat, or at least be like registered. Like their actions should be considered illegal, but they could give a maybe like a stay if they are willing to back down. No more detonations, but the technology and the capability is given over to the people here, and then they can decide the next planets to choose to go for. That would be, I think, the most fair.
革新的な技術は常に諸刃の剣です。しかしそれを見越しても、音月サイトから得られる利益があれば、民の生活が大幅に改善されるはず。
Yeah, but then there's the fault that I sometimes using the mouse is distracting. Johanna, you're making the mistake that led the Solar Congress to like deny your people. If like you funnel all that money and you just decide, oh, like of course we'll take care of the people. You'd have to actually have objectively decent people who have the capability of not being selfish and trying to skim some off the top or make sure that their own are protected over like everyone else. And that's just not human nature, unfortunately. So you just make it an abusive situation where maybe some people would be uplifted, but there'd be a lot of others who'd be left behind.
シェルズ艦長、過激分子ども、ここで始末しよう。あいつらの言葉を信じちゃダメだ。忠義も名誉もない連中だぞ。
艦長殿、ここは交渉で解決すべきだと思います。ソラリス政府もホーク派閥を排除しようとするのは利益のためでしかありません。パラディン殿はこのディナリの未来を救ってパクトの手から中立辺境を解放できる存在です。決して感情だけで動いてはなりません。
Interesting. Alright, so here's the choice. Now, I feel like based on the information we've had, I don't like it. Again, I'm more upset about the ultimate, the choice here, but I'm still kind of leaning on what I originally was thinking. My original thought is I would rather have Paladin back on the team. I think she's got a good heart, and even if she's got a bit misled, I think she might even been manipulated. She's definitely one to be susceptible to that. So for whatever reason, I feel like that she's not in the right place, but I feel like her heart's in the right place. And so I feel like that's something we can still salvage and have good from. And she's such a good character. I don't want to see her go by. I'm not a huge fan of what's happening here. I think that it could be handled better, and I'm nervous about what it could mean. But when it comes to these two things, either like we got to take down the Hawk faction because they're just extremists and trying to find a peaceful solution, I'm going to always lean towards the peaceful solution. Even the Hawk faction, as much as they might seem like extremists, if they can follow like diplomatic means of trying to exert their like desires, and they maintain and uphold that democracy, then it's fine. Like it sucks because like extremism feels like it's always a bad thing. But you also got to admit that sometimes the extremists were the ones that made the most important changes in history. I'm nervous at what the Hawk faction would do because it seems like they'd be willing to do things like work with democracy, but then when it doesn't go in their favor, deploy terroristic threats and like bribes and like they do all the evil things to just get their way because they just believe they're so right that doing wrong things for the right reasons is justifiable to them, which it's not. And that's probably, if I have a biggest critique of politics right now, it would be that. And it's definitely something I see on all political sides and different groups. It's just becoming more and more acceptable that like, hey, I don't care if bad things are done, if people like commit crimes, as long as they're leaders that I think are supporting the most important values that I have, I don't mind if if they're morally bankrupt, inconsistent, if they lie, if they double back on promises, if they like take care of themselves and their friends over others, and if they screw people over, like for some reason people are being okay with that, and that's really scary to me. So, all right, long story short, I'm gonna side with the Marquis. because I feel like if we can have a peaceful solution, we should strive for it.
この後に及んで話し合いなんてできるか。ソラリスの連中はみんな詐欺師なんだ。信じてしまったら苦しみしか残らねえんだよ。
I mean, that's the thing. She's kind of right. Like, this isn't like a black and white choice, but I feel like that there's better solutions here than just killing them all.
誉れあるディナリーガーディアン隊が先祖の血をこれ以上奪わせるか。攻撃
No, hold your fire.
艦長、プレイターの戦艦は第13艦隊へ向けて攻撃を開始しました。ご命
Gosh
令を。
darn it. This sucks. I said hold your fire. Captain Paladin is not our enemy.
どちらも通信をブロックしています。
Shoot.
艦長、
Diplomacy failed at the worst possible time. The Denari honor guard are out for blood, and if they kill Paladin now, then all this would have been for nothing. All hands, battle stations. Your orders are to protect the Paladin from the Denari Holy Guard, honor guard.
艦長、あいつらはマジだ。今回はさすがにやらないとやられるぞ。
I understand. Deadly force is authorized. Oh, interesting. Consecutive melee attacks deal 50% more damage.
お、今助けに行くからな。
I just kicked my cat on accident. I'm sorry. So the other thing about that too is like I wonder if that implies like, because the saga was very much on the side of like, hey, let's like they're traitors, they need to go. I wonder if it would increase my heart with her if I'd done that. So I wonder if you're locked out from getting 10 hearts with everybody. That's interesting. All right, let's do a quick save. All right. Now I already upgraded the ships and everything. Akari, so when she does her chain, she'll do higher damage. That's great. And we don't have to pull our punches this time, so it should be easier, but I'm also sad. I'm sad. This is a sad, it was gonna be sad no matter what happened here. All right, here we go. You probably won't see a whole lot, but it's probably gonna be an hour of pain for me. Alright. Okay. Oh boy. They're pretty tanky. So I think these white bars are supposed to be like their armor. So it's like shows like they have front, side, and rear armors. But like it's interesting though because that implies or maybe like it shows their it feels like they all have side armors, but maybe that's just the direction they're facing for some reason. I don't know. I'll have to pay more attention to that. Okay. The best thing we can do here, again, the big trouble is it's just so much, like it's such a heavy amount of force.
何艦長。
Okay. We're gonna try something here.
今度は絶対に。
Oh my gosh. That was really good, but she's in danger now. Oh no. That might have been a mistake.
損傷が数箇所あります。
Oh boy. Oh boy. That was a mistake.
戦勝しろよな。
Oh, so many missiles still. Ooh, don't like that. This is getting dicey. Oh, it's gross.
おい艦長、なんとかしろよ。
Fetch me. Those
修理
missiles
の仕
just
事か。
can't do anything about them. This is where things get real dicey. Come on. Hold on. Shoot the missiles. Shoot the missiles.
交代。
No! Gosh darn it. I need to try this again. Oh boy. Alright. So this turn's gonna matter. I think this is gonna be my last try without, I did win one, but lost a few. I tried a different maneuver to try and get them to fire almost all their missiles at the same time. And it worked! Ooh, it's getting scary.
こちら、セラー商法ブラックネット構築します。ウィルコ、目的地へ移動します。了解。1保持。
Okay. Let's clear that up.
艦長
This is pathetic, but it's about the best I can manage. I just don't know. Like, the problem with me is, like, if I literally had unlimited time, I could probably swing a better win than this, but I've been here for a while now, and it's just challenging. But here we go. I'm not a fan of that fight. Acceptable, but I'm not a fan. Oh well. I mean, if I have to, for the sake of fun, I might lower the difficulty. I hate that because I like the challenge, but I also don't like that I spend so much time doing these fights. Like, that's the thing. That's the time thing. If I had more free time, like, I tell you, I guarantee you this. If I was doing this full time, like, if I could do YouTube as a career, I would not only keep the setting as it is here, I might even bump it up because I could take the hours it would take to actually do it. But no, we're stopping here, unfortunately.
第13艦隊およびディナリガーディアン双方がすでに多大な損害を被っています。しかし撤退の兆しは見られません。
I clicked early. Praetor, there's no further point sacrificing more pilots. Fall back.
クズめが貴様の助力を期待してた私はバカだった。
I wanted to. This is more than that. It could have been a peaceful solution to all this. You brought this upon yourself.
平和とか交渉とかいう言葉に惑わされたからこそディナリは今のようになっちまったんだ。リュビア帝国を信じてたことは私の一番の過ちだ。
連邦機関の反物質炉に被弾確認。停止状態です。ディナリガーディアンの戦艦も停止状態に陥っています。
Right. Prepare for a boarding party. We're taking in the Paladin ourselves.
かしこまりました艦長。しかし、なぜピストルを取り出したんですか？
Yeah. At this point, I'm not expecting anything less than being stabbed in the back. She's not gonna come easy. You have the bridge, Commander.
それが規定違反であることは説明するまでもありませんね。
Come on, we both know the ship's better in your hands, Ava. Kriska, come out! I know you're here.
艦長殿、
What happened to you? Why did you do all this?
答えはもう知っていると思うが、貴殿は本当にあの艦長殿だろうか。
Yeah.
では、試させてもらおう。
このバカ。
Why can't I hide the screen? Because this looks like a great shot. Akari, yes! I like that Akari's, like, was she gonna beat us with, like, a lead pipe or something? Dang.
何があったかは知らんが、以前のお前の方がずっとまともだったぞ。なバカなことはもうやめて、いい加減目を覚ませ。国民がお前のクーデターを支持するわけがなかろう。
Yeah, Akari.
嘘よりひでえこともある。自分の嘘を信じ込んで真実だと錯覚することだ。
Oh, you know what? I wonder if she'll bring it up because she fell for that too. Like, she did a lot. She fought against us trying to protect people, only to watch like the kids who she really doesn't like seeing kids suffer. Well, who does? But like, that's sort of like Creed. She'll attack adults. Like, she'll lure them. She'll commit piracy, all that. But if kids get involved, no harming kids. And so when the people she thought she was working with had been hired to help, like, started destroying escape pods with children in them, that's when she turned on art to join us.
もういい加減気づけ。お前がやろうとしているのは自殺行為なんだよ。
弱い！中立辺境最強の傭兵がこの程度だとは。
Kriska stares. Listen to me. We're your friends. If we go ahead with the coup d'etat, there'll be no turning back. The Alliance military establishment wants you gone. You have no hope of winning. You'd just be throwing your life away for nothing.
名誉ある戦士は無駄ではない。立ち去れ！
Kriska!
いや、クリスカ・スターレスは死んだ。
No. Wait!
人々は真実に目覚めなければならない。クーデターは計画通りに実行される。この決着はいずれソラリスで。
Really? Kriska! Wow. She actually got away. That's freaking crazy. I thought we had her
お帰り
there.
なさい。パラディアンは？
No.
そうですか。とにかくご無事で何よりです、艦長。制服はそうでもないみたいですが。
It's just clothes. Oh.
本当に気をつけてください、艦長。
I'm sorry, Ava. Yeah.
ライダーも前期回収できました。問題は一つだけ。
Mm-hmm.
シールズ艦長殿、ディナリの民を代表して感謝を申し上げます。
I'm not happy about it, Marquis.
苦渋の決断に違いありませんが、艦長殿は正しい判断をなさったと確信しています。開発プロジェクトに関する交渉はすでに完了しており、成功すればディナリにとっても工業連合にとっても大きな利益となるでしょう。温月サイト採掘プロジェクトの情報を得た投資家は数多くフェーロスへ集まっているようです。
Fracking.
ディナリの未来は非常に明るいものとなっています。
Calling it fracking is oddly like too... Gah. That... Man, I don't think I made the right choice.
そうですね。あと5年もすれば先進惑星に劣らない姿に生まれ変わるでしょう。
You know,
民も田舎者だと蔑まれず、ディナリもソラリス連邦に大きく貢献できましょう。
Kriska has a point. The true flaws of the Solar Alliance system can be highlighted in the fact that because people are living in a place that doesn't have a lot of natural resources to exploit, they're literally seen as second-class citizens. There's a lot of places, at least in the States, where there's not a whole lot of resources. In fact, like it's a good examples of like there's states that take in more like they cost the federal government. The federal government sends more resources to states than the states like leave. Like the GDP of the state basically is eclipsed by the amount of money that gets poured in. It's like they're at a deficit. That doesn't make the people who live there less than human or less than citizens. Some people might think that, but like in respect to the law, like and the distribution of resources, it's not the case at all. What happened to the Praetor Keisha? I'm sure that many others like her will oppose you.
戦闘の混乱で逃避したようです。彼女のような伝統主義者たちは時代の変化に対する抵抗姿勢を取るでしょ
う。Dang, that sucks.
しかし、意義を持つ少数のために大多数の利を犠牲にするなどできるはずがありません。
I wonder if our choice there would lead to Keisha or Kriska being like a new companion. Like maybe that's what the ultimate choice would be. Is like it wouldn't like remove a potential rider, but it'd let us choose who our like companion for this game would be.
難しい道のりに違いありませんが、工業連合が TPC を手に入れた今、変化は免れません。今日、我々は偉大なる民族への進化の第一歩を踏み出しました。ディナリはいずれ影響力と権威を持つ大国になるでしょう。
Also, can I talk about the objective horror that is the fact that the mining union, a mercantile group, has basically nukes. Now they're going to use them for this fracking, but think about that. Like imagine Amazon just casually announcing that they have a fleet of submarines with nuclear warheads that are able to be deployed. Can you imagine like the significance of that? Like, yeah, maybe they had like a means of business for wanting to use them like that, but could you just picture that? Amazon with nukes. Or like, I don't know, I don't know any big mining companies, but it's just that the abject horror of that, the dystopianness of that idea is so bad. Fair. I was only here to find an old member of my crew. Your people's fates are in your hands, Marquis. It's time we made our exit.
ありがとうございます。ディナリ広域はいつでも艦長殿のお越しをお待ちしております。ただ、次お会いするとき、艦長殿はディナリを見て驚くかもしれませんね。
Then I look forward to my next visit, Murray. Murray, heading out.
ご分を、マレーゴ。
Oh, I thought the power was going out, not a scene change. It's like, oh great, we're getting ambushed again. Oh crap, I don't feel good about that at all. Chapter 3, complete chapter 3.
So.
Chapter 4, coup d'etat. Oh boy. I've inputted the navigational data of the Solaris onto the navicomputer. After you completed any other tasks you deem necessary, we should head to the Alliance core worlds. Good thing we got an invitation, or else we would have been a lot harder.
聞いてください
I advise we stay in good behavior in the core worlds. While the Alliance might tolerate us for now, I doubt they will welcome us with open arms. Well, a lot must have changed since Liberation Day. Let's find out for ourselves. Fetch me. Alright, well, that didn't go so great. Let's take a peek at the map. So yeah, Solaris is the next place. Korath, we have... Oh, interesting. So, side human costs. Green Captain Shields, while I bid you farewell from our space not long ago, I'm humbled by the reality that I need your assistance once again. With the Mining Union's cooperation, we've expanded the scope of our Angasite fracking operation. Unfortunately, we've lost contact with one of our miners, and every team we have sent to investigate has gone silent. We offer you a handsome reward if you go to cover what has happened. Ooh. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to stop for now, but we'll see. If it turns out this video would be way too short on editing, I'll come back and finish it. But I'm running out of time where I just cannot record any longer. Alright, so yeah, after looking at the recording, most of that was just the fight. It was going to be really short, so we're going to do a side quest really fast. It's a little bit later. I also probably look a lot more bedraggled. It's real hot today, real humid today, and there's only so much I could do about that. My hair also it goes super curly whenever it gets humid. I try to kind of roughly contain it, but besides putting like major product in my hair and trying to freeze it, which I'm not a huge fan of, it's just gonna look like this. So I know I look like I just like climbed out of a pond or something, but that's probably because that's what the air feels like. So we're just gonna deal with it. All right, so we're gonna just do the side quest. I don't know exactly what it's going to entail, but we're just gonna slap that on, and we'll continue the main quest in Solaris next episode. So, Korath. So let's see what happens.
So
We've arrived at our destination, Captain. Something must have happened to the miners. Lynn, what can you tell me?
なんだ
Oh, well, you know, either they all got too close to the detonation and got turned into a plate of space spaghetti, or they got killed off by some pirate looking to score some easy ongasite. If it were that simple, we wouldn't have been called back here, Chief. I was afraid of that.
要するに
I did some more research into the unknown elements of tactical paradox cores releasing when converting rock to ongasite. Sorry to rain on our parade, but I'm increasingly thinking that ongasite is actually only a byproduct of what this process is actually creating. Each time a planet is fracked, rays of what we call particle X shoot out in random directions from the detonation. If you're unlucky enough to be hit...
So
Captain, new energy signatures. Hold that thought for a bit, Lynn.
これは
Denari vessels are heading to intercept us. Hail them. No response. Could they be experiencing comm trouble thanks to the gravitational distortions? No, something's not right. Condition red, all hands to battle stations.
So
Understood, Captain. Condition red. Broadcast on all channels. Denari vessels, do not intercept. Do not intercept. Change your heading or respond immediately. I repeat, change your heading or respond. This is your final warning. I'm getting some real, like, what is it from? The Firefly show, the Reavers. Like, where they are like humans that were so twisted by an experiment gone wrong that they became basically inhuman. No change detected. Alert, they are powering weapons. Shoot, return fire. All right, quick save. But we should be good to go. All right, let's see what this is all about. Okay, so, all right. So it's a lot like the last fleet we just had a bit of problem with. They're probably gonna be missile heavy, but they're spread out. That's interesting. I wonder what that's going to end up feeling like. Okay. Well, in that regard,
Nani?
I definitely think we want to focus on
何艦長
taking them on in a limited capacity. I'm guessing the struggle here is going to be the fact that, like, as they come in staggered at us, their missiles are going to be also staggered in their deployment, which is going to mean that we have a lot of cleanup to do. It's almost making me think I need to invest in assault, making it cheap as possible, just so we have the means to freaking deal with this garbage.
移動中
敵が撃
Alright. So, one loss, because freaking Sola cannot stop being a magnet for freaking all the heat. I gotta figure out a way. If I could give her a cloak, that would be wonderful, but she just draws way too much attention because of how just lethal she is.
So
The Denari vessels have all been neutralized. What could have happened? Scan the wreckage for survivors.
聞いてください
One moment. I'm receiving a faint message from the wreckage of one of the Denari vessels. Here. God, you stopped them. Lock onto the signal. We thought we were all going to be rich when we saw the Angasai, but that weird thing started happening on the ship. The crew started acting funny. People I knew all my life suddenly changed. Everything became blurry. The screaming. Oh, the screaming. It was everywhere. The Angasai, it started screaming. You're safe now. Claude, send a medevac to the survivor stat. No. It's too late. It's too late. Only a matter of time, everyone. We changed. If you let me out here, the contagion will only spread. Look at me!
なんてこと。
No. The screaming. Let it end. The spread. Contain it. Contain it! Or else it'll be too late. Commander, lock weapons on the survivor and fire. Excellent timing, Captain. We're just closed an agreement with the mining unit to open 5 new Angasite fracking sites. An avalanche of capital is flooding into the Denari Expanse. Within weeks, we're opening up a new orbital hospital right here at Pharos. Marquis, there's a problem. And this is what I was saying, is like, with all the information we had, we made the right choice, but I was like, there's gotta be more to this. There needs to be researching this and taking it slow. The detonations, they're radioactive. According to our analysis, there's no way to make the fracking process clean. There's not enough radiation right now for it to affect the population centers, but if you keep detonating worlds, remapping star charts is going to be the least of your problems. The entire Denari Expanse is going to be poisoned. I'm sending you the data right now. I see. This is certainly a hurdle. You've got to put an end to this before it's too late. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. However, I must ask you to delete all records of what you've discovered during this mission and leave this matter to me. I was afraid of that. You will not comply. I saw with my very eyes what it did to the miners, Marquis. If you were the one picking the Angasite. Setbacks like this are a common occurrence in the mining business, so the mining sites may be more hazardous than originally anticipated. We can simply use drones to mine the Angasite instead. If any accidents do occur, we offer medical and financial compensation. Or perhaps we can research the tactical paradox core further, make the detonation process cleaner. But all that can be done only with capital. The Solar Alliance deals in credits, not goodwill. Now, Captain, all the agreements have been signed and the manpower, equipment, and finances fully committed. You nor I can stop what has already begun. So I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to delete those records. I've completed the mission. Do as you will. You've made your choice, but what is it wrought? Was your decision moralist, prince, or something in between? Industry has roared back to life at the Denari Expanse, seeking the promise of wealth. Millions signed on with the mining union to gather Angasite. For the first time in a century, the Denari looked to the future with optimism. Yet in the dark cascades of their worlds, horrors beyond their imagining await. What seemed to be a golden future is instead a nightmare from which there will be no awakening. Those who crash into their fiery doom when their warp drives fail in the maelstrom of gravitational detonations may have a kinder fate. The humble Emerald Fleet will sail forth once more, the reactors glowing resplendent in Angasite and Denari blood, to fight the name of commerce. Credits line the pockets of the powerful, while the masses will share in that fortune cannot be known, but not even by a fortune teller. For consequences do not derive from actions, but fall like rain from above. The trajectories of each droplet unknown, chaotic, indeterminate, but a storm certain to drench all. And in that river of fate you drift, your oars long overboard, your sails tattered asunder. Your story continues. Yeah, just need a little shovel in the consequences of your actions. I wonder if you get like a different ending based on if you'd chosen the other path, and maybe it would have been this whole like you stopped like the exploitation of the resources, but like the Nazi will dwindle into like a hellscape of its own. Like I don't think there was any good choice, but I am curious to know now like what would be the difference? What would the other choice have led to? All right, well, that's definitely where we're gonna end things for today. That was quite interesting. I like that idea of there being tangible like consequences. Now the downside is that like it adds more complication if you want to add new titles to the series. So if there is like supposed to be a chapter 5 for Sunrider, like can you actually manifest the choices that are made in this game into that game, or is it going to be something that's like, oh, it's impactful now but we'll never talk about it again? Mass Effect fell into this trouble a bit where they had all these really interesting choices you could make, and it would affect the ending of the main game in a significant way. But then down the line, it would just be make like a casual reference. Or in the third game, they tried to wrap up all the different strands of your choices, but then 90% of them just became a little added points to your end game, army build. Basically, you had to hit thresholds at the end game in order to achieve different, like I think 1 of 3 different ascendings in the endings in the final assault, which had no actual impact on the story, but would impact how the story felt and how costly the final assault would be. And so when I played it and I carried over my saves and decisions from game 1 to game 2 to game 3, I remember like there's like a meter at the end of the game that you're supposed to like go to, and there's like a hard point where you have to get to this line if you want to expect a successful mission. I blew it out of the water because of all the choices I'd made leading up to it. It almost didn't matter what choices I'd made in the third game because all the calculated decisions and points that were added from my choices from uploading my decisions from the first 2 games basically filled that role. Now, what they did do is they actually made death matter in those games, which is really cool. Because in, especially Mass Effect 2, Mass Effect 1 had it a bit. Mass Effect 2 really had a point where like your decisions could cost the lives of crew members, and they would be either present or not present in the final game based on those decisions. A lot of them would have like a temporary stand-in that would kind of fill in the ranks if they hadn't survived their games. But the fun thing was that if they didn't survive their games, it would lock you out of potential endings because you needed that well-known and trusted like member of your former crew to be there to unlock like a really like oftentimes to unlock a third or fourth option to whatever decision you're facing, which that was amazing. That's really cool. I like how they made the game so that it could function despite like core characters missing, but it would also have consequences if you had made sure to keep them alive, if you'd made sure to keep their relationships up and made sure that they had respect for you. It unlocked new opportunities for you to explore, which I thought was fantastic. I'd love to see a lot more of that in games because visual novels are quintessentially choice-based games. And yet I'm not sure if I've ever seen good follow-through with decisions that truly linger into following titles. There are some cases where that has been pretty well done. Muv-Luve's decent, but that one wasn't so much of like, oh, your choices directly affected the ending of the game you got. It affected it in 2 ways. In Muv-Luve, based on the last ending you would achieved when you played the game, when you started the second game, it would determine basically which romance path you would be on for the second game. But you could go on any of them, but like it would give you an initial boost on whatever one was the last one you'd completed. And then in the third game, it plays with the ideas in really unique ways that I'm not going to spoil because it's really, really, really well done, and it would be a shame to not experience it yourself. But again, I find that something I would like to see more of. It's really hard though. Like the writing, not only to make interesting stories, but then also make the game mechanics kind of reflect your choices in meaningful ways across multiple games and titles. It's titanic. It's probably one of the most difficult things to do, and probably has some of the least like direct like appreciation from the gaming community. I don't know if it feels like I'm one of the only people that actually enjoys it when that happens. People will say they like choice-based games and impactful, but a lot of times people get upset about it because they don't like the interpretation of those types of consequences and the way it plays out in a lot of these games. And granted, could be better, but by slandering and making it sound like they did terrible jobs, you're telling game developers you just don't want it at all, because like if the game developer maintains control of the entire narrative, then at least they can tell the story they want to say, rather than letting you have a story for yourself. So, I don't know. It's a difference between railroading and embracing the chaos when you're playing like Dungeons and Dragons or something. I don't know. We'll have to see. Anyway, thank you so much for being here today. Thank you so much for joining me on the channel, and thank you for being patient with me on this one. Again, time's racing on. I gotta get going. I got a lot to do, and I'm pretty wiped out. I gotta go take care of some stuff to make sure I'm ready to go. So, thanks for your patience, and thank you for waiting for me during the break. Again, there's always more content to explore. Hopefully, there's something you find on the channel that can keep you interested and like to engage with while I'm gone, because there's a lot of good content here, and I bet you haven't seen a lot of it. I highly encourage you to check the backlog, but it's your time, your free time, and I'm just happy you're here for some of it. So regardless of what you decide to do, thank you for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for being a part of the channel. You're a wonderful, wonderful part of my life. Especially to patrons and members for giving me direct support to encourage my projects further. Like, I just want to make sure I'm doing the best I can to make it feel like I'm worth your while. So thank you. And until the next video you're watching me, I hope to see me in next. I'll see you there.